Kloe had always known what it felt like to be unwanted. As an orphan, she had grown up in different homes, never truly feeling like she belonged anywhere. But when Mr. Benson adopted her, she thought for once she had found a family. However, she quickly realized that she was nothing more than a charity case in his household. He had a daughter, Stacy, who was never home. Unlike Kloe, who was raised with discipline and morals, Stacy lived a reckless life, moving from one man to another, bringing in money for her father. Mr. Benson never complained, never questioned her whereabouts. As long as the money kept flowing in, he turned a blind eye to everything. Kloe, on the other hand, refused to live that way. She worked hard, stayed decent, and tried to earn everything through honesty. She wasn't blind to the way Mr. Benson treated her differently, but she refused to let it break her. She did the chores, cooked for him, and made sure the house was in order, even though he barely acknowledged her presence. One evening, as Kloe walked back from the market carrying a small bag of groceries, she noticed a commotion ahead. A bus conductor was shouting at an elderly man, his voice laced with irritation. "I said, bring my money! If you knew you didn't have enough, why did you enter my bus?" the conductor yelled, pushing the old man roughly. Chloe's heart tightened at the sight. The elderly man was frail, his clothes worn out, his face lined with wrinkles that spoke of a hard life. Yet, despite his struggles, the conductor showed him no mercy. Without hesitation, Kloe marched forward. "Hey, stop that!" she snapped, stepping in between the conductor and the old man. "Is this how you treat your elders?" The conductor scoffed. "And who are you? If he doesn't have money, he should get out of my sight." Kloe glared at him, then reached into her bag, pulling out some money. "Here, take this, and stop harassing him." The conductor snatched the money from her hand, grumbling as he walked away. The old man sighed in relief, his tired eyes filling with gratitude. "Thank you, my daughter. You didn't have to do that." "It's nothing, Papa," Kloe said gently. "No one deserves to be treated that way." The old man gave a weak smile. "My name is Patrick. I'm just a poor farmer. I live alone. No wife, no children. I had a son once, but he died years ago." Chloe's heart ached for him. She could see the sadness in his eyes, the loneliness he had probably carried for years. "Don't worry, Papa," she said, giving him a reassuring smile. "I'll find some time to come help you on your farm. I can also help you cook." Patrick's face lit up. It had been a long time since someone showed him kindness. "You would do that for an old man like me?" "Of course I will come as soon as I can," Kloe promised. Patrick watched as she walked away, his heart warming at the kindness she had shown him. He had met many people in his long life, but none as selfless as this young girl. He stood there watching her until she disappeared from sight, his mind already filled with thoughts of the day she would visit. As Kloe walked home, she felt something she hadn't felt in a long time, a sense of purpose. She had spent so many years trying to find a place where she belonged. But maybe, just maybe, she was meant to be someone else's family. Kloe walked into the house, wiping the sweat off her forehead. She had just returned from the market, yet she already sensed trouble before she even stepped inside. The moment she opened the door, she saw Mr. Benson standing in the middle of the living room, his arms crossed, his face twisted with anger. "Where have you been, you useless girl?" he barked. His deep voice echoed through the house, making Kloe freeze for a moment. "I have been sitting here hungry since morning, and you went to sleep in the market, right?" Kloe opened her mouth to explain. "Daddy, But Mr. Benson wasn't interested in listening. "Shut up!" he roared. "I have told you not to call me your father. You are not my child, and you will never be my child. Now where is the change from the money I gave you?" Kloe swallowed hard. This was what she had feared. She took a deep breath and tried to speak calmly. "Daddy, that's what I was trying to tell you. I saw an old man being harassed by a bus conductor. He didn't have money for his fare, so I gave it to him." Before she could finish, Mr. Benson's hand flew across her face with a loud slap. Kloe staggered backward, holding her burning cheek, tears stinging her eyes. "You gave my money to a poor man?" he yelled. His eyes flared with rage. "So, you have started seeing poor men now, eh? You now have a poor boyfriend you're feeding with my money." Kloe gasped. "No, Daddy, it wasn't like that. He was just an old man." Mr. Benson cut her off with a bitter laugh. "Foolish girl. Look at you. Just look at you. My daughter Stacy is out there making real money from wealthy men, and they shower her with money. Money that puts food on this table. Money that keeps this house running." Kloe's stomach twisted in disgust. She clenched her fists and said firmly, "With all due respect, Daddy, I can never be like Stacy. God forbid." A heavy silence filled the room. For a second, Kloe thought Mr. Benson might explode. His nostrils flared, his face darkened, and before she could react, his hand came down again. Another slap. You're being punished for talking back at me," he roared. "You think you can compare yourself to Stacy? You are nothing compared to her. Do you think your decency will bring money into this house? You will suffer. You hear me?" Tears welled up in Kloe's eyes, but she refused to let them fall. She refused to give him the satisfaction of seeing her cry. "There is no food for you in this house," Mr. Benson declared. His voice was filled with cruelty. "You will not eat for 2 days. Let hunger teach you some sense." Kloe's stomach growled, but she held her ground. "Now, go to the kitchen and cook before my angel Stacy comes back. Go, you senseless girl." Kloe turned and walked toward the kitchen, her head held high, but inside she was breaking. She felt weak, tired, and betrayed. She had done nothing wrong, yet she was being punished for being kind. As she stood by the stove, stirring the pot of soup, she made a silent promise to herself. One day, she would leave this house. One day, she would never have to endure this again. The next morning, Kloe woke up feeling weak. Her stomach ached from hunger, but she had no choice. She had to continue with her chores. She swept the living room, washed the dishes, and made breakfast for Mr. Benson. The smell of fried eggs and bread filled the house, making her stomach growl painfully, but she knew she couldn't eat. As she placed the food on the dining table, Stacy walked in. Dressed in a tight dress and high heels, she looked fresh, her face glowing with expensive makeup. Unlike Kloe, who had spent the night in hunger and tears, Stacy had probably been out enjoying herself. Kloe saw this as her chance. Maybe, just maybe, Stacy could help. She took a deep breath and walked up to her stepsister. "Stacy, please." "I need to talk to you," Kloe said cautiously. Stacy rolled her eyes, already irritated. "What do you want, you dirty girl?" Kloe hesitated, but decided to speak. "Yesterday, your father, our father, he punished me for no reason. I saw an old man being harassed by a bus conductor, and I used part of the money he gave me to help him. But when I came back, he got angry. He slapped me, insulted me, and said I wouldn't eat in this house for 2 days. Stacy picked up a mirror from the table and began fixing her lipstick, barely paying attention. "And why are you telling me?" she asked casually. Kloe swallowed her pride and continued. "Because I'm really hungry, Stacy. I didn't eat anything yesterday, and I still have to do all the work in the house. Please, can you talk to him? Maybe if you tell him, he will change his mind." For the first time. Stacy turned to look at her properly. She tilted her head and smiled. "So let me get this straight. You want me to beg Daddy for you?" Kloe nodded quickly. "Yes, please. Just tell him to let me eat." Stacy burst into laughter. "You must be really foolish. How is that my business? He is right. You are just a stubborn, dirty girl. If you had listened and behaved like me, you wouldn't be starving right now." Kloe's heart sank. "But Stacy, I can't be like you. I don't want to." "Then stay hungry," Stacy snapped, rolling her eyes. "Honestly, I don't care." Tears stung Kloe's eyes. She had hoped that maybe, just maybe, Stacy would show some kindness. But she was wrong. Stacy reached into her purse and pulled out some money. "Here, take this," she said, shoving a few notes into Kloe's hand. Kloe looked at the money, confused. "You're giving me money for food?" Stacy scoffed. "Food? Who said anything about food? I want ice cream. Go to the supermarket and buy me some. And don't waste time." Kloe stared at her in disbelief. "Stacy, I haven't eaten anything since yesterday. Can't I at least buy something for myself?" Stacy rolled her eyes. "I don't care if you die of hunger, Kloe. Just get me my ice cream, you dirty, stubborn girl." Kloe clenched her jaw, trying to hold back the tears. She had no choice. If she refused, Stacy would complain to their father, and he would only make things worse. So, without another word, she turned and left the house, her heart heavy with pain. As Kloe walked down the dusty road, her heart felt heavy. She was hungry, tired, and frustrated, but she kept moving. The sun was blazing in the sky, and the heat made her dizzy, but she forced herself to keep going. Just as she reached the market area, she spotted a familiar figure sitting under a tree. It was the old man, Papa Patrick. He looked lost in thought, his face filled with sadness. "Papa!" Kloe called out, smiling despite her exhaustion. The old man looked up, and when he saw her, his face brightened. "Ah, my daughter. God bless you. How are you today?" Kloe walked up to him, wiping sweat off her forehead. "I'm fine, Papa, but I just realized I forgot to ask you where you live yesterday. You promised to let me help you on the farm. Remember?" Papa Patrick chuckled softly. "Ah, yes, my daughter. I live in that small brown house near the river just after the big mango tree. You will see a wooden fence and my little farm beside it." Kloe nodded. "Don't worry, Papa. I will visit you tomorrow." She then noticed the sadness still lingering in his eyes. His hands were clasped together, and he looked deep in thought. "Papa, why do you look so sad?" she asked gently. The old man sighed deeply. "My daughter, I am waiting for someone who owes me money. He promised to meet me here and pay me today. But I have been sitting here for hours, and he has not shown up. Worst of all, he has stopped picking my calls." Kloe frowned. "That's not fair, Papa. You worked for your money." Papa Patrick shook his head. "Some people have no conscience, my daughter. I need that money to buy food and some things for the farm. But it seems the man has decided to run away with it." Kloe's hands tightened into fists. She couldn't stand people who mistreated others, especially someone as kind as Papa Patrick. "Papa, give me his number," she said firmly. The old man hesitated. "But my daughter—" "Don't worry, just give it to me," Kloe insisted. Papa Patrick slowly brought out a small piece of paper with the man's number written on it. Kloe took her phone and dialed the number. After a few rings, the man picked up. "Hello? Who is this?" His voice was rough and impatient. Kloe took a deep breath before speaking. "Good afternoon. My name is Kloe. I am calling regarding the money you owe Papa Patrick." There was silence on the other end before the man scoffed. "And what is your business with that? Tell the old man to wait for 2 weeks. I don't have money now." Kloe's blood boiled with anger. 2 weeks? Do you think he doesn't have needs? Do you think he can survive on air while you enjoy yourself with his money? You are a heartless man. The man was quiet for a moment. Then he muttered, "I said I don't have money," before ending the call. Kloe clenched her teeth. Can you imagine? He just cut the call. Papa Patrick sighed. "I told you, my daughter. Some people have no fear of God." Kloe looked at the old man, feeling even more frustrated. How could the world be so unfair? Here was a poor old man who had worked hard for his money, yet someone had the audacity to cheat him. She reached into her pocket and pulled out the money Stacy had given her for ice cream. She placed it in Papa Patrick's hands. The old man's eyes widened. "No, my daughter, you cannot give me this. I know you are also struggling just like me." Kloe shook her head. "Papa, you need it more than I do. You are old. I am young. I am stronger than you, so I can cope. But you need food to stay healthy. Please take it." Tears welled up in Papa Patrick's eyes as he looked at her with gratitude. He held her hands and began to pray. "My daughter, may God bless you. May you never lack. And may you meet a good man who will marry you and treat you with kindness, just as you have treated me today." Kloe smiled, touched by his words. "Amen, Papa." Papa Patrick then smiled and said, "I want you to come to my house this weekend. I will be taking some farm produce to the market in 2 days. So by the time you visit, I will have enough money to host you." Kloe burst into laughter. "Papa, you are so funny. So you are planning to throw in the Kyodi Pro Bro? Babiobi Abititi Stopi?" Papa Patrick grinned. "Yes, my daughter. I may be poor, but I will make sure you eat well when you visit." Kloe wiped a tear from the corner of her eye and said jokingly, "Well, I hope you know that I eat a lot. I will finish all your food." Papa Patrick laughed heartily. "I don't mind, my daughter. As long as you come, I will be happy." Kloe smiled warmly. For the first time in a long time, she felt a sense of peace. Maybe she had lost her real parents, but in Papa Patrick, she had found something she never expected: a father's love. Kloe walked into the house, her steps slow and heavy. Her stomach ached from hunger, and her body felt weak. But she forced herself to keep moving. The moment she stepped inside, she let out a loud, broken sob, her voice shaking, as if she had been crying for hours. "Ah!" she wailed, holding her stomach. "Why me? What did I do to deserve this?" She collapsed onto the couch, her shoulders shaking with fake sobs. She covered her face with her hands, making sure to sniff loudly so it sounded as real as possible. Stacy's voice rang out, sharp and uninterested. "What's your problem this time?" Kloe sniffled, her voice trembling as she spoke. "Stacy, I was attacked," she cried, her hands gripping the edge of the couch as if she was about to collapse from pain. "Attacked!" There was a slight pause before Stacy spoke again. "By who?" Kloe gasped, pretending to struggle for breath. "A group of young men. They surrounded me on my way to the supermarket. They pushed me, slapped me, and took all of the money." There was silence. Then Stacy spoke again, her tone filled with amusement. "Oh, please spare me the tears. You should be grateful they didn't finish you off." Chloe's fake crying almost turned real. She lifted her head slightly, her eyes wide with disbelief. "Stacy," she gasped. "What?" Stacy's voice was light, almost laughing. "You are useless in this house anyway. If they had killed you, at least this house would be free from your presence." Chloe's chest tightened. No matter how cruel Stacy had been in the past, she never expected her to say something so heartless. "Stacy, I swear I'm telling the truth," Kloe sobbed. "They stole everything. I couldn't even fight back." A mocking laugh rang out. "I hope you haven't given my money to your poor boyfriend and come here to lie." Chloe's eyes widened in shock. "I don't have a boyfriend, Stacy. I swear on my life, I've never even been touched by a man before." Laughter filled the room. It was loud, cruel, and filled with mockery. "Oh, please don't make me laugh. You've never been touched? What kind of boring life is that?" There was a short pause before Stacy continued. "No wonder you're still so miserable. No man wants you, not even poor ones." Chloe's hands clenched into fists, her nails digging into her palms. She wanted to scream, but she knew it wouldn't change anything. "Anyway, I don't have time for your pathetic stories," Stacy said. "Whether you were robbed or not, it's not my business. The only thing I know is that my money is gone." Kloe held her breath, praying that she wouldn't demand the money back. "You're lucky I'm in a good mood today," Stacy continued. "Otherwise, I would have made you pay me back every single naira. But since I don't want to stress myself, I'll let it go." Kloe exhaled shakily, her body relaxing slightly. "But don't think I'm being nice," Stacy added, her voice sharp. "I just don't have time to deal with a fool like you, so get out of my sight before I change my mind." Kloe hesitated for a moment. She wanted to say something to defend herself, to ask why Stacy hated her so much. But she knew it was pointless. Stacy would never care. Without another word, she turned and walked to her tiny room. Her stomach growled in protest, but she ignored it. She lay down on the thin mattress, staring at the ceiling. The hunger in her belly was nothing compared to the pain in her heart. She had tried everything to be accepted in this house, but it was never enough. Tears slid down her cheeks, but she quickly wiped them away. Weekend finally came, and Kloe woke up early, excitement bubbling in her chest. It had been a long, hard week of hunger, insults, and endless chores. But today, for the first time in a long while, she felt happy. She had something to look forward to. She waited for Stacy and Mr. Benson to leave the house before sneaking out. She knew if they caught her, there would be trouble. But she didn't care. She was tired of staying in a house where she was treated like nothing. The sun was high in the sky as she made her way to Papa Patrick's house. The dirt road was quiet, lined with tall trees and the sound of birds chirping. She followed the directions he had given her, and soon she spotted the small brown house near the river. A wooden fence surrounded it, and beside it was a small but beautiful farm with rows of green vegetables swaying in the breeze. Kloe smiled to herself. "This place feels so peaceful." As she reached the house, she was hit with the delicious aroma of food. Her stomach immediately growled. She rushed to the door and knocked gently. "Papa, it's me, Kloe." The door swung open, and Papa Patrick stood there, beaming. Ah, my daughter, you're finally here. Come in, come in. Kloe stepped inside and gasped. On the small wooden table, there were different meals. Steaming hot rice with thick, rich stew, fried plantains, a bowl of fresh fruit, and even a plate of roasted fish. It looked like a feast. "Papa," Kloe exclaimed in shock. "You already cooked all this?" Papa Patrick laughed. "Yes, my daughter. You are my special guest today. You must eat well." Kloe shook her head in disbelief. "Papa, you should have waited for me to come help you cook. How did you do all this alone?" Papa Patrick smiled, pouring her a cup of water. "Ah, my daughter, you asked too many questions. Just eat." "But Papa," Kloe frowned, "where did you even get the money to cook all these? This is too much." Papa Patrick chuckled. "I told you, my daughter. I sold my farm produce. That's where I got the money from. Now eat before the food gets cold." Kloe's heart swelled with gratitude. She had spent the past days starving, being treated like nothing. Yet here was a man who barely knew her, treating her with kindness. She sat down and picked up a spoon, her hands shaking with excitement. The moment she took the first bite, her eyes widened. "Papa, this food is so delicious," she said, her mouth full. Papa Patrick laughed. "Eat well, my daughter. You need strength." Kloe didn't need to be told twice. She ate to her heart's content, enjoying every single bite. For the first time in a long time, she felt full. Not just in her stomach, but in her heart. After they finished eating, Papa leaned back and sighed in satisfaction. "Now, my daughter, tell me about yourself." Kloe's smile faded a little. She placed her spoon down and stared at the table for a moment. "Papa, I don't even know where to start." "Start from anywhere," Papa Patrick said gently. "I want to know you." Kloe took a deep breath and began to speak. She told him everything. How she was an orphan, how she had been adopted by Mr. Benson, and how she had hoped to finally have a real family. But instead, she was treated like a burden, forced to do all the work in the house, insulted daily, and even denied food. Tears welled up in Papa Patrick's eyes as he listened. He shook his head in disbelief. "My daughter, no child deserves to be treated like that." Kloe sniffed, wiping the tears from her eyes. "It's okay, Papa. I'm used to it." Papa Patrick placed a hand on her shoulder. "Don't ever say that, my daughter. You deserve love and kindness. From now on, anytime they refuse to give you food, come here. My door is always open for you." Kloe's eyes widened in surprise. "Papa, you really mean that?" "Of course," he said firmly. "You are my daughter now. I will not let you suffer." Kloe's heart swelled with emotion. She had never felt so cared for before. "Thank you so much, Papa. God bless you. You are truly God-sent." Papa Patrick smiled warmly. "My daughter, how I wish I had a son. He would have married you." Kloe laughed, shaking her head. "Papa, it's okay. You are my father now, and I am your daughter. That is enough for me." Papa Patrick nodded, his eyes shining with love. Kloe sighed and looked out the window. "How I wish I could stay here tonight, Papa. But if my father finds out I sneaked out, he will finish me." Papa Patrick frowned. "That man does not deserve you, my daughter. One day, you will leave that house. One day you will be free." Kloe smiled, feeling hopeful for the first time in a long time. 2 days had passed since Kloe's visit to Papa Patrick's house. She had felt happier than she had in a long time. Knowing she had someone who genuinely cared for her made all the difference. However, reality always found a way to drag her back. She was still stuck in Mr. Benson's house, where every day felt like a battle for survival. She had just finished washing the dishes when her phone rang. She frowned, wiping her wet hands on her dress before picking it up. The number was unknown. "Hello?" she answered cautiously. A deep, unfamiliar voice responded. Finally the angel speaks." Kloe raised an eyebrow. "Excuse me, who is this?" The man chuckled. "My dear, ever since I heard your voice that day, I have not been able to sleep. Your voice is like the voice of an angel sent from above." Kloe rolled her eyes. "Who are you? And what do you want?" "My name is Philip," the man said smoothly. "I am the man who owed your poor friend, Mr. Patrick, some money." Chloe's body stiffened. "Firstly, have you paid my father his money?" she asked. Philip chuckled again. "Oh, I never knew he was your father. If I had known, I would have paid him long ago." "Don't waste my time," Kloe snapped. "Just answer the question, have you paid him or not?" "Of course, my love," Philip said in a sickeningly sweet voice. "I paid him a few hours ago. You can ask him to confirm." Kloe took a deep breath, controlling her growing irritation. "Good. Now let today be the first and last time you ever call this number." Philip gasped dramatically. "Ah, my love. Why are you talking to me like this? Do you know who I am? I am a wealthy man. I can take you and your poor father out of poverty." Kloe let out a short, mocking laugh. "Go and take your village people out of poverty first, you arrogant man. You can never buy me with your foolish money." Philip's voice dropped, his tone suddenly dark and serious. "Kloe, you're making a mistake. I always get what I want, and I want you." Chloe's face hardened. "You don't always get what you want, Philip. And this time you won't. Stay away from me." Before he could say another word, she hung up and blocked his number. But on the other end of the call, Philip sat back in his chair, a sly smile on his face. "Don't worry, my dear Kloe," he murmured to himself. "I know exactly how to get you." The next morning, Kloe stepped out of the house, ready to go about her day. But the moment she opened the door, she froze. Standing in front of their gate was a tall man dressed in an expensive designer suit, his shoes shining under the morning sun. Next to him were several large bags filled with what looked like expensive gifts, boxes of chocolates, perfumes, designer clothes, and other luxurious items. Chloe's eyebrows furrowed. "Who is this? And why is he standing in front of our house?" She took a cautious step forward, her arms folded. "Who are you, sir? And what are you doing here?" The man turned around slowly, a confident smile on his face. "Ah, my love. You don't recognize me. It's me. Philip, baby," he said smoothly. "I came to see my wife-to-be." Chloe's mouth fell open in shock. "Excuse me?" Philip chuckled. "Oh, come on, baby. Don't act surprised. I told you, I always get what I want, and I want you." He spread his arms wide, as if expecting her to run into them. "Look at all these gifts. Just a little taste of the life I can give you." Kloe clenched her fists. "How did you even get my address?" Philip smiled. "Baby, we own this town. I know every house, every street. Finding you was easy." Kloe felt her skin crawl. "Don't call me baby. I am not yours, and I never will be." Philip sighed dramatically, shaking his head. "Kloe, you're making this difficult. Just give me a chance. I love you. Be mine. Let me spoil you with money. Let me take care of you and Patrick." Chloe's blood boiled. "First of all, don't ever mention Papa Patrick's name again. Second, I don't want your money. And third, I will never, ever be yours. Philip's smile faltered for a moment, but he quickly regained his confidence. Baby, why did you lie to me? Kloe frowned. Lie to you about what? About Patrick being your father, Philip said. Kloe rolled her eyes. Of course, he is my father. Philip smiled again. Then how come you both don't live in the same house? Kloe felt like slapping him. That's none of your business. Philip shook his head. Baby, don't lie to me again. I don't like it. Please always tell me the truth. Kloe let out a frustrated groan. You are so foolish. Don't you ever call me baby, okay? And let me warn you, don't ever call me or come to this house again. Philip's smirk returned, but this time there was something darker about it. His eyes glinted with obsession. Never, Kloe. You must be mine. You are too beautiful, too intelligent, too decent to belong to another man. Be mine. Chloe's stomach twisted in disgust. Let me say this one final time. Next time I see you near this house, I will call the police for stalking me. Philip let out a slow laugh. Baby, we own the police. They will do nothing to me. Kloe glared at him before turning around and walking back into the house, slamming the door behind her. She was done with this nonsense. Just as she leaned against the door, taking deep breaths to calm herself, she heard a voice behind her. Interesting. Kloe spun around only to see Stacy standing in the hallway with a wicked grin on her face. You were really shouting at that fine rich man, Stacy said, crossing her arms. You're such a fool, Kloe. You should be begging him to take you. Chloe's jaw clenched. Stay out of this, Stacy. Stacy ignored her and walked outside, flipping her long hair over her shoulder. Good morning, sir, Stacy said sweetly, her tone completely different from how she spoke to Kloe. Philip turned, raising an eyebrow at her. And who might you be? Stacy smiled. I'm Stacy, Chloe's elder sister. Philip smiled. Oh, I see. Don't mind my sister, she's just a little difficult, but don't worry, I'll talk to her. I'm sure she will listen to me. Philip looked her up and down, then nodded. I like that. You seem reasonable. Stacy giggled, stretching out her hand. Before I forget, let me help her collect the gifts. You know, just in case she changes her mind later. Philip chuckled and gestured to the bags. Be my guest. Stacy quickly grabbed the bags of goodies, her eyes shining with excitement. Philip reached into his pocket and pulled out a bundle of cash, placing it in Stacy's hand. This is for you. Just make sure you convince your sister. I don't want to wait too long. Stacy's grin widened as she took the money. Oh, don't worry, Philip. I'll make sure Kloe sees reason. Philip gave her his number. Keep me updated, sweetheart. Of course, Stacy said. Philip then climbed into his expensive car, revved the engine, and sped off, leaving a cloud of dust behind him. Stacy turned back toward the house, a wicked smile on her face. Kloe, she muttered, shaking her head, you really don't know how to use your beauty. The next morning, Kloe couldn't wait to leave the house. After what happened with Philip yesterday, she needed to clear her head. There was only one place she wanted to be, Papa Patrick's house. She carefully snuck out, making sure Mr. Benson and Stacy weren't around to stop her. The moment she stepped onto the dusty road leading to Patrick's house, she felt a wave of relief. This place had become her escape, the only place where she felt safe and loved. When she arrived, Papa Patrick was sitting outside on a wooden bench. His wrinkled face lit up with a smile when he saw her. "Ah, my daughter, you're here?" Kloe ran up to him and sat beside him. "Yes, Papa. I needed to talk to you." Patrick looked at her closely. "What is it, my daughter? You look worried." Kloe let out a frustrated sigh. "Papa, that man Philip is so stupid. I don't like him, and I will never like him." Papa Patrick chuckled. "Ah, what did he do this time?" Kloe rolled her eyes. "Yesterday I stepped out of the house and I saw him standing outside with bags full of expensive gifts, saying he came to see his wife-to-be. Can you imagine?" Papa Patrick's eyes widened. "What?" "Papa, I was so angry. I told him to leave me alone, but he kept saying he wants to take care of me, that he loves me, that he will spoil me with money. Can you believe that?" Patrick suddenly sat up, his eyes narrowing. "No wonder," Kloe frowned. "No wonder what?" "No wonder he came here the other day and paid me more than he owed me," Patrick said, rubbing his chin. "I was surprised because the amount he gave me was too much. I never knew it was because of you, my daughter." Chloe's stomach turned. "So he was just trying to impress me. Gosh, that man is so annoying." Patrick sighed. "My daughter, he is wealthy. Why don't you give him a chance? He can take care of you." Kloe gasped. "Papa, you too?" Patrick chuckled. "I'm just saying, my daughter, life is hard. If a man with money loves you, maybe you should consider it." Kloe shook her head firmly. "No, Papa. I will never give him a chance. I don't care if my man is broke. All I need is a good man, a responsible man, not an arrogant and proud fool like Philip." Patrick nodded slowly. "I see. And besides," Kloe continued, "I am not even ready for any relationship right now. All I want is money to get into the university and get my degrees. I want a good job. I want to take you out of this place, Papa. I hate to see you in this environment. It's not good for your age. And I also want to make sure you stop farming. That's my wish someday." Papa Patrick's eyes widened in shock. He stared at her for a long time, speechless. Finally, he reached out and held her hands, his voice trembling. "Oh, my daughter, I wish you were truly my child. You are so kind. May God bless you." Kloe smiled, blinking back tears. "Amen, Papa." Patrick sighed deeply. "Don't worry, my child. The God I serve will bring somebody that will help you soon. Soon, my daughter. Soon." Kloe let out a small laugh. "Amen, Papa." After a moment of silence, Patrick's expression changed. He suddenly clenched his fists. "And listen, any time that Philip comes near you again, call me. I will come over and beat the hell out of him.